Federico Chiesa has decided to leave Juventus and look for other opportunities. He's valued at between 25 and 30 million pounds by the club. Premier League might be his destination. This video is being brought to you with thanks to Surfshark. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to browse websites in other countries and keep you safe and secure from hackers. Surfshark allows you to virtually travel the world with just the tap of a finger. As an example, we here in Ireland can What is Afflix? We here in Ireland can watch other countries' Netflix libraries, unlock UK services such as BBC iPlayer, and of course that all-important Spanish DAZN account for football. Surfshark keeps you safe and secure by covering up everything that you do online. When your device connects to the internet, all this information is, in a way, blurred out. This is particularly effective when you're out and about on public Wi-Fi, maybe you're in college or at a cafe. It keeps your information safe and secure from hackers. With a Surfshark, just ask Surfshark, just here, have a Surfshark. Johnny? Mildred, Surfsharks? Surfshark allow you to use unlimited devices on just one subscription, meaning if you so wish, you can grant access to your friends and family. On top of that, Surfshark offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, they refund you. It is that simple. Simply scan the QR code on your screen right now, or use the link in the description, putting in the code Anfield Agenda. That should mean we can spend big on two other midfielders. Well, this will lead me into... This is going to lead me into a debate that I wanted to ask you guys about tonight. Do Liverpool need to bring in an attacker? Now, let me just pose that question, and then let me give you a few points of information that maybe will help to inform your decision. So what we know at the minute is that we are going to lose Mohamed Salah potentially from January the 13th, if he went all the way to the final of the AFCON with Egypt, till February the 11th. That is when the AFCON is taking place in the next window, the next season. So with that in mind, do Liverpool need to go out into the market and look to bring in an attacker? Because it feels a little bit weird doing it for just 1 month. But if you think about it on the whole, you have to look at it from the point of view of who do we have available that can play in a wide area? Who do we have that could cover for Mohamed Salah? And the answer is, right now, not really many options. So yes, you could probably put Jota out there. Yes, you could put Harvey Elliott out there. But you guys yesterday, when I was speaking to you, said that you were a little bit concerned that maybe Elliott wouldn't have the pace to be as tricky or as impactful in a wide position as the great Mohamed Salah is. And that's absolutely understandable. And the reason I ask all this is because today it became official. Federico Chiesa has asked to leave Juventus. That has been put out there today by an Italian outlet, Corriere dello Sport, that say Federico Chiesa has decided to leave Juventus and look for other opportunities. He's valued at between 25 and 30 million pounds by the club. Premier League might be his destination. Now, as I continue to research this today, two names kept coming up on all of these articles: Liverpool and Newcastle. And whilst Newcastle definitely have more of a need, in my opinion, to bring in a wide player, I don't think we can ignore this opportunity, because Federico Chiesa, before his injury, was probably valued about twice what he is now. And yes, this season has been a bit of a wobble for him. I think he's had 4 goals or something like that. Not really great. But if there is a manager that could get the best out of him, it is Jurgen Klopp. And somebody mentioned something to me today that was a fair point. Let's say we bring in Chiesa for a couple of years and allow the forwards to progress, the young players that we have, the Ben Dokes of this world, the Trent Dohertys, the Cade Gordons, and some other attacking young players. Well, we could move him on. Worst case scenario, we could move him on a couple of years and probably make 20 or 30 million pound profit on it. So I think this is an opportunity that may have come at exactly the right time. And the reason I'm speaking about this now is it leads off from what we spoke about a few minutes ago, which is that Liverpool Football Club look likely to only pay about 35 million pound for Alexis McAllister, according to The Athletic, who've said that there are no add-ons and that they believe from sources close to them that it's closer to 35 million. So that means if we got him for 35 million and we got Thuram for 35 million and either Viega or Kone, who are valued at between 30 and 40 million, depending on who you believe. Well, with Gabriel Viega, it is 40 million euros. So that's not much more than 105 million quid. And we boxed off the midfield for less than a Jude Bellingham amount. So surely there is a little bit of wiggle room there, right? And yesterday we were speaking, would we use that wiggle room if we had it to maybe make a bid for Josko Gvardiol? Well, today I'm the bearer of bad news because it looks as if Manchester City have started negotiations, according to, I think it was Football Insider, with Josko Gvardiol and with RB Leipzig to sign him. And I warned you that this was probably coming. And we also know that Ndika today made his move to Roma. So he will be leaving and going to Roma. So that's another centre-back Liverpool can rule out. So I guess where I'm going with this is, I'd like Liverpool to go and sign Federico Chiesa. I'd like Liverpool to be in the conversation to sign Federico Chiesa, especially at the valuations being mentioned. But I want to know what you guys think about it. Is it madness to think about bringing somebody in? Can anybody push Mohamed Salah? Can anybody really be a viable alternative to him? Maybe not. But we can't ignore one other thing that happened today about Mohamed Salah, and I'm sure that it hasn't escaped your attention as well. It has been reported that he is of interest to Saudi Arabia and to, of course, the project that's been launched over there where they look to bring in some superstars in world football. Now, I've got no idea if there's truth to this, if there's any opportunity for a Saudi Arabian club or indeed Saudi Arabian government to come in and pay what it would take. And I don't know what it would take. I don't even know if there's a number, and I certainly don't know if Mohamed Salah has any interest in it. But it is something that I think we've got to take semi-seriously, because we know the money that's on offer. We've seen the calibre of players that they're looking to lure over there. They brought in Benzema, there's of course Cristiano Ronaldo and N'Golo Kante, and more and more and more. So what do we do? What do we do? Do we hang around and wait? Do we put our faith in Ben Doak, Cade Gordon, or one of those other youngsters? Well, to me, the answer is go get Federico Chiesa. And also, if you can keep him out of the clutches of Newcastle, who are going to be a rival for a top 4 position this year, well, that's all the better as well. And Newcastle look like, according to reports, they have a budget of about £75 million to spend, which isn't really a lot for a club that, you know, has been taken over by the Saudi investment fund. I know people don't like to say it, but it is run by them. Let's be honest about it. I thought they would have had more money. But again, I credit Newcastle if they are keeping into what they can afford to spend. Fair play to them. And 75 million doesn't seem a ridiculous amount for a club that have got back into Champions League football. Just look at what the budget that Arsenal have been handed for their assault on the Champions League next year. And again, it looks like Declan Rice is top of their list of priorities. 92 million is a number I'd seen mentioned today with regards to Declan Rice maybe going to Arsenal. So with all of that in mind, one, do we need to bring in an attacker? Not necessarily just to cover for Mohamed Salah if he goes and when he goes to the AFCON, but do we need one in general? Do we even need an attacking midfielder? Because there's some contradiction to some of the players we're looking at. You've got your Kefren Thuram, who's a box-to-box midfielder. You've got Alexis McAllister, who again can play in every facet of midfield. But we haven't then got a defensive midfielder unless we know for a fact that that's where Bajcetić's future is. And we don't know that yet. So the juxtaposition of somebody like Manu Kone with an attacker like Vega, I mean, it doesn't really make sense, right? You know, Liverpool need to go after one specific type of midfielder, and is it Kone? I really don't know. But I'm intrigued to find out how it goes. I'm intrigued to see how quickly it works. Now, on the deals to bring in Alexis McAllister, Julian Ward did stay on and help. Julian Ward did work past the date that he was supposed to finish to make sure that that deal was done. And again, in The Athletic, they say that sources inside Anfield were just full of praise for Julian Ward, for how professional he was during his whole notice period. You know, sometimes clubs would just put people in gardening leave in these type of situations, but they were so impressed with how Julian Ward conducted himself and his business that he stayed on a little bit longer. But that handover has now been done, and George Matka will be the one taking care of transfers moving forward. So tying all that together is now over to you guys. What do you say? Do we need an attacker? Who should we be looking at? And if we do have some extra money saved from what we've done in midfield, how best to utilise that money? Should Liverpool look to maybe rain on City's parade? Sorry, I said parade and City, silly me. And on that, did you see the thing that they put out? Sure, I thought it was fake at first. The send-off for the Manchester City team as they head off to Istanbul. If you haven't seen it, go on TikTok and look at it. It is the most tin pot thing I've ever seen in my life. It is, tell me you don't get football without telling me you don't get football. It's one of those type of scenarios. Have a search for yourself on TikTok and see, but I had a little giggle. I can't lie, I had a little giggle. And also, Fabio Carvalho, RB Leipzig are going to be continuing negotiations with Liverpool as per Fabrizio Romano over trying to strike a deal to bring Fabio Carvalho to Leipzig. So that gives us a little in there, right? If they want Carvalho, that gives us a bit of sway because maybe we could say, Josko, you know, what are you saying, kids? You fancy coming to Anfield? And we know he does because he's a Liverpool fan. But maybe this is just pie in the sky stuff. I don't know. Over to you guys to let me know.